Kamikaze, a Japanese term meaning divine wind, once evoked the legendary typhoons that saved Japan from Mongol invasions in the 13th century. But during World War II, it took on a far darker meaning, a desperate hunting strategy that saw young pilots turn their planes into weapons of sacrifice. These men, many barely out of their teenage years, were ordered to hurl themselves and their explosive-laden aircraft into Allied ships, their final moments of fiery collision of duty. By 1944, Japan was on the brink. The Allies, backed by superior resources and unmatched industrial power, were reclaiming island after island, tightening the noose around the Japanese homeland. Conventional warfare had become futile, Japan's navy lay in ruins, its air force shattered. Faced with inevitable defeat, military leaders turned to the Kamikaze, a last, brutal stand that embodied both the nation's unyielding resolve and the devastating human cost of war. The campaign raged until Japan's surrender in 1945, leaving behind a legacy of chilling testament to the extremes of desperation. In this context, Vice Admiral Takejiro Onishi proposed the Kamikaze strategy. The idea was to maximize damage with minimal resources by turning pilots and planes into guided missiles. The tactic peaked during the Battle of Okinawa in 1945, where over 1,500 kamikaze pilots targeted the Allied fleet, reflecting Japan's last-ditch effort to stave off defeat. The pilots were mostly young men, often in their late teens or early 20s, many of whom were university students conscripted into service. Trained minimally, sometimes for just weeks, they were indoctrinated with the Bushido Code emphasizing honor, loyalty, and self-sacrifice. Propaganda portrayed their missions as noble acts to protect their families and homeland. Some volunteered out of fervent patriotism. Others succumbed to societal pressure or coercion. Before their final flights, pilots performed rituals, wrote farewell letters, and drank sake, expressing a mix of pride, fear, and resignation. More than 3,000 young men perished in these fateful missions, their lives extinguished in fiery sacrifice. Kamikaze attacks inflicted significant damage, sinking or damaging over 300 Allied ships and killing thousands of sailors. The Battle of Leyte Gulf and Okinawa showcased their destructive potential. Psychologically, they were harrowing. Allied troops described the relentless onslaught as terrifying, with one sailor likening it to a swarm of angry bees. Yet despite this toll, the attacks couldn't reverse Japan's fortunes. The nation's resources were too depleted, and the Allies' resolve only hardened, hastening Japan's surrender after the atomic bombings in August 1945. Kamikaze encapsulates the desperation and devastation of World War II. It raises enduring questions about duty, morality, and the value of life, a cruel waste of young men sent on doomed missions, their futures stolen by a hopeless cause.